Shrug the shoulders. We're just releasing any holding in the shoulders and the neck. A big breath in and a big sigh, shrugging that sound out. And when you're ready to come up really slowly. Keep the head, neck and shoulders relaxed. Keep the knees bent. And we're just going to roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. So once again, see if you can keep those muscles released and relaxed. And all we're doing is we're placing the vertebrae one by one back on top of the other. See if you can continue that extending up through the crown. So as if you've got a piece of string, it's coming up through the spine and it's up through the crown. This is the light, neutral, beautiful place we want to be when we're singing, yeah? Especially when we're chanting, the holy names. It's a neutral place, yeah? Open, yeah? The throat's open, the shoulders are released, everything's relaxed and released. And all that's happening is our intention to praise the Lord and the muscle power. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna.
Bhagavad Gita has been described as the source of all yoga, and in Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna explains the whole yoga system, or what is commonly called the yoga ladder, all the different systems of yoga and how they all fit together and what the ultimate goal of all those systems of yoga are. And part of the yoga tradition is this idea of the parampara, or from one to another, in that a master or a teacher passes on the tradition to the student, and that takes place in a certain context as well. Our particular tradition is the Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition of West Bengal. It's a tradition from India, and it's a Bhakti Yoga tradition. Bhakti Yoga means the yoga of devotion, and it refers to performing all the activities that you do in life with devotion to the Supreme, and with the interests of the Supreme as the common interest of the community. So all activities that are performed within Bhakti Yoga are done with the understanding that this is being done as an offering and as a means of spiritual practice. So it spiritualizes everything, whether that's doing the yoga asanas, cooking, singing, dancing, you know, anything that is done can be done as an offering of devotion. It's not about changing to some other ethnic culture. It's about taking that spiritual aspect and adding that to our culture here in Australia, where we live. We live in the Australian culture, and in some senses it can be very materialistic. It's very much influenced by global, you know, consumer culture of the day. So it's missing a bit of a spiritual element. So along with our classes on yoga asanas, or the yoga postures and the yoga exercises, which are very great for creating a healthy state of the body, we also offer philosophy and the bigger picture surrounding yoga and yoga practice.
Transcendental vibration.
In this particular epoch of human existence, people don't take genuine spiritual practices very seriously. People's lives are very short and unhealthy and their minds are very agitated. They can't live without intoxication. For example, what do you think life would be like in Queensland if there was no intoxication available? Just think about it. Not one drop. Not one wisp of smoke. Nothing. This is the nature of life in this very materialistic age. People cannot live without bewildering themselves, so they forget the actual suffering and emptiness of their situation. Because people's minds are so unstable today, and because their bodies are so unhealthy, and because society is simply concerned with economic expansion, the supreme source of all energy, the supreme master of yoga, the all-attractive reservoir of pleasure, Krishna, has given an express way to perfection. What does it mean, perfection? Perfection begins with understanding the difference between matter and spirit. And then perfection proceeds further to understand the source of matter and spirit. And then perfection culminates in our acting in relationship with the source of all matter and spirit. This supreme science of the supreme relationship is the pinnacle of yoga. Krishna has made it very expedient for us to approach him, the source of all matter and spirit, in this very chaotic and spiritually disadvantageous epoch of human existence. The chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra is nothing sentimental. It's nothing artificial. It is the method prescribed for the illnesses of today.
I suppose we have a unique take on our yoga center because we're not all about Hatha Yoga. It's important and it's, very good for the body and the mind. But the purpose of Hatha Yoga is to be able to purify your body and mind to a state where you can attain a loving relationship with the Supreme. So this is Bhakti Yoga. So Atma Yoga is about Bhakti Yoga, using Hatha Yoga as a tool. And for the people who run Atma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga is our life, and many of us use Hatha Yoga to keep our body and mind fit for our practice of Bhakti Yoga.